Welcome to Hard Time Sports. I'm Matthew Schneider. Today's topic, March Madness Round of 64, 2017. Here are my picks for this year's March Madness Round of 64. Let's start off in the East region of the bracket. You have the number one seed, the Villanova Wildcats, will face Mount St. Mary's since they beat New Orleans last night. I'm taking Villanova. Now let's go to the next game. Was the 8th seed Wisconsin versus the 9th seed Virginia Tech. I'm taking Wisconsin. Now let's go to the next game. You have Virginia versus UNC Wilmington. I'm taking UNC Wilmington in an upset to beat Virginia. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking East Tennessee State as a 13 seed to beat Florida, the 4 seed, in another upset. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking SMU to beat Providence, but we don't know who's going to play. SMU is going to play yet because Providence and USC play today. Well, either way, I'm taking UMC to beat either one of those teams. Now, let's go to the next game. I'm taking 3-seeded Baylor to beat New Mexico State. Off to the next game. I'm taking 10th seed Marquette to beat 7th seed South Carolina. Let's go to the last game of the first round of the East bracket. I am taking 2-seeded Duke to beat the 12th seed Troy. Now, let's go to the West bracket of the round of 64. I'm taking the number 1 seed, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, to beat the 16 seed South Dakota State. Now, let's go to the next game. I'm taking 8th seeded Northwestern, their first time ever in the NCAA tournament, to beat the 9th seed Vanderbilt Commodores. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking 5 seed Notre Dame to beat the 12 seed Princeton. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking 4-seeded West Virginia to beat 13 seed Bucknell. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking the 11th seed Xavier to upset the 6th seed Maryland. 6-11 matchup, not really an upset, but I think it's an upset because I think Maryland's a better team, but I think Xavier has been playing better. So I'm going to take Xavier. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking 3-seeded Florida State to beat Florida Gulf Coast, the 14 seed. Let's go to the next game in the West region of the bracket. I'm taking the 10 seed VCU to beat the 7 seed St. Mary's. Now, let's go to the last game of the round of 64 in the West bracket. I'm taking the 2 seed Arizona to beat North Dakota. Now, let's head off to the Midwest bracket of the round of 64. I'm taking Kansas to beat, hopefully, UNC Central, who I have playing tonight. Either way, Kansas is going to beat them because a 1 has never lost to a 16 seed in the history of the NCAA tournament. Let's go to the next game. I think that Michigan State is going to beat the Miami Hurricanes. An 8 versus a 9. The 9 will win in Michigan State. Let's go to the next game in the Midwest bracket. I'm taking the 5 seed Iowa State to beat the 12 seed Nevada. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking the 4 seed Purdue to beat the 13 seed Vermont. Let's go to the next game. I'm taking the 11 seed Rhode Island to beat the 6 seed Creighton. Now here is something I do know because they said it on SportsCenter all the time. Creighton is playing without its point guard. Good luck of winning a game without your starting point guard. It is very hard to do in the NCAA tournament. So I think Rhode Island is going to beat Creighton in the first round. Now let's go to the next game. I think 3-seeded Oregon is going to beat the 14-seed Iona. Let's go to the next round in the Midwest region. To the next game, I think the 7-seed Michigan beats the 10-seed Oklahoma State. Let's go to the last game of the Midwest region of the round of 64. I think the 2-seed Louisville Cardinal are going to beat Jacksonville State, the 15th seed. That's all for the Midwest region. Now let's go to the last region of the round of 64. North Carolina, the 1 seed, is going to beat Texas Southern, the 16th seed. Let's go to the next game, an 8-9 matchup. Arkansas and Seton Hall. I think Arkansas is going to beat Seton Hall. Let's go to the next game. I have another upset. I think the 12 seed Middle Tennessee is going to beat the 5 seed Minnesota. If you recall, last year, Middle Tennessee was a 15 seed, and they beat the number 2 seed Michigan State. I think they're going to do it again, and they're going to go a little bit further this year in the NCAA tournament, because I know they are. So they're going to beat Minnesota in the first round. Let's go to the next game. You have 4-seeded Butler versus the 13-seed Winthrop. I think Butler is going to beat Winthrop. Let's go to the next game. I automatically lost that next game because I had Wake Forest. So that's an automatic loss already. So I had Wake Forest versus Cincinnati, and I had Cincinnati losing to Wake Forest. So that's an automatically loss anyway. So let's go to the next game. You have the 3-seeded UCLA versus Kent State. UCLA, the most points scored in the NCAA this year, 90-something points a game. They have no problem. They'll beat Kent State. Let's go to the next game. 7-seed Dayton versus 10-seed Wichita State. Here's where I have a problem with the people who made this particular seed. I think Wichita State is better than a 10 seed. They got a raw deal, and they got screwed. They are one of the top 25 teams in the country. So if you're one of the top 25 teams in the country, you should be no more than less than a 5 seed. They got a 10 seed. That means you're top 40 in the country. They were top 25 all year. They got screwed. Wichita State is going to beat Dayton. Now, my final pick of the first round of the NCAA tournament in 2017, I have the Kentucky Wildcats beating Northern Kentucky in the round of 64. Those are my picks for the round of 64 in the NCAA tournament for 2017 March Madness. I hope you enjoyed my picks, and people reply on who you think are going to win these first round games. I will talk to you more as we go further in the tournament in the round of 32, which would be my next blog. I hope you enjoyed my picks for the NCAA tournament, the round of 64. I'm Matthew. Enjoy the blog!